Talk to me a little bit about dreaming fearlessly. What advice do you give people, A, on how to dream fearlessly, and B, on what to do when you start to lose motivation and it seems like things aren't going the way you need them to?
I feel like fear is a hard thing to erase when you feel it. And usually the bolder and more ambitious you are in your dreams, the scarier they are. And I think it's so interesting that when I talk with leaders who have accomplished great things, ranging from Melody Hobson to Elon Musk, they consistently tell me the same thing, which is also something we see in psychology, which is it's not that they're not afraid of failing. It's that they're even more afraid of not trying. And so if you were to fast forward and run the regret test and say, okay, you're finishing your career. What is your biggest regret, right? It's not that you had a huge dream and you fell short of it. It's that you didn't go for that dream at all. And so I think it's just worth remembering that, yeah, you don't have to let go of your fear, right? You just have to convert it and say, hey, you know what? I might be afraid of failing, but I should be even more afraid of failing to try.
The That Mailbox Came Out of Nowhere policy from American Family Insurance.
And talk about the moment when moments when people start to lose motivation. Because they did. They got on the journey, things that you didn't expect to happen to you. And you start to lose motivation. You start to lose a little heart. What kind of advice have you seen be helpful to people in those moments that have allowed them to move through those difficult windows?
So the best advice I've gotten on this actually came a couple months ago from Scott Kelly. You know Scott as the astronaut who set the American record doing 340 days in space. For my TED podcast, I called up Scott and I wanted to know, okay, well, what did you learn that's helpful now? And the first thing Scott said to me was, when I prepared for my year-long mission, I wasn't just focused on my objectives from NASA, I was thinking about how I wanted to feel. I'd been in space, on a 6-month mission before, and I had to set a goal. I thought about this months before we left Earth, that I wanted to come back to Earth with the same energy and enthusiasm that I left with. And he said, once I had that goal, I could actually picture what the future looked like when it felt like it was endless and there was all this uncertainty. But I could also work backward and try to reverse engineer. Okay, what do I need to do day by day to maintain that motivation? What do you need to do day by day to finish this pandemic with the same energy and enthusiasm you had the day that a lockdown was called?
Hey, tune into the Carlos Watson Show. It's like no other. You're going to enjoy it every weekday on YouTube.